Hi, I'm Emma Nasto, and I play Louisa VonTrapp in The Sound of Music. In the last installment of Meet the Cast, we met our youngest members of the cast, the Grettles. But in this one, we're going to stick in the VonTrapp family, but interview our oldest members, the Leisls.
With songs they have sung for 1,000 years. The hills fill my heart with the sound of music. My heart wants to sing every song it hears.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Bunca. I'm 16 years old and I play Leisl in The Sound of Music.
Hi, I'm Julianne. I'm 16 years old, and I also play Leisls in The Sound of Music.
Hi, I'm Olivia Terpin. I'm 15 years old, and I play Leisls in The Sound of Music.
Okay, so my first question is, describe your character. What is Leisl like?
Leisl, she follows her heart, she's with Rolf in the show, so that's kind of her main motive, it's just kind of finding love with him in what way she can.
Yeah, I feel like Leisl's like any teenage girl. She's kind of just like boy-struck. Like she's so in love with like Rolf, and then she realizes like, oh well, he's not as great as I thought he was.
Yeah, I'd have to say Leisl's definitely like a hopeless romantic, and she's very caring, and she loves her siblings like a lot, and they come first, so she had to get rid of Rolf.
Then the next question I have is, what is your favorite moment or line from the show?
I think my favorite moment is when Maria comes back and she's like talking to Leisl and she asks her like how she is and like if she got any like telegrams lately, and Leisl's like, no, like I'll be glad to go back to boarding school. I think that's what she said. And then Maria's like, oh, like I have so much to talk to you about, like, because she's the one who gives her all that boy advice.
I feel like my favorite scene, I guess, in the show would be, I guess, Do Re Mi. Because I like doing that scene with all the little kids in my cast, and they're all fun to work with. And it's a lot of fun doing that dance, so.
My favorite like moment in the show would probably have to be like my favorite things, just because like everybody comes together and Maria reminds them of all like the good things and how to not be afraid and to look for like the good and the bad.
What has the biggest challenge been while doing a show during COVID-19?
It's definitely like learning how to like in our cast, like how to act as a family when like, we go into it, not a lot of us know each other. So we have to like form this family bond while over Zoom, which is difficult, but like it's possible.
Yeah, one thing, it's hard to like, I feel like acting, most of it's like working off the other person's energy. And it's kind of hard to act when you can't really see what face the other person's making at you. So you kind of just have to work off seeing each other's like eyes, which is kind of hard. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And most of the people in skit are good actors anyway. So it's like, it's easy to work off each other.
Yeah, the hardest thing would probably like it's everybody feels like so separated. I feel because on Zoom you have to look at like a screen. It's just hard because theater is all about like people and like interaction between characters, and because of COVID, it kind of limits how much contact we can have with other people.
And the next question I have is, what's a typical rehearsal day like for you guys?
Yeah, like you log on and we talk for a few minutes, kind of like getting everyone eased up, and then we do a dance, talk more. I feel like we do a lot of talking just as a cast. Like Mrs. Newman, our director, has a lot of stories to tell us, but yeah, we just run everything.
Yeah, I guess one good thing about being at home is that like I could just like roll out of bed and like log on to Zoom, and I'm like, oh, I'm at rehearsal. So yeah, that's been nice. But yeah, like Sabrina said, we do a lot of talking in rehearsal. Miss Newman always has a lot of stories to tell. So yeah.
Yeah, with Zoom, you basically just log on and then we all get to like talk. We do a lot of talking in rehearsal, but it's like it's good to see everyone. So we take like that first 5 minutes just to like chat with people. And then usually we get like right to work, and then we'll stop in between, and then Mrs. Newman will have like great advice about like acting, or she'll help us out or tell us a fun story. But yeah.
How do you feel that this show relates to what is happening in the world today?
You know, new people. I mean, like, you know, Maria, she's like a new person coming into the VonTrapp's life. And like, you know, then she leaves like very suddenly. I feel like that can happen a lot with like COVID. You know, people lose people and it gets very hard when you come like very attached to them.
I mean, the show's about like their dad, and they weren't like close to their dad. So I guess in a way, before COVID, everybody was like always like at dance or always at school or always like doing activities. So I guess we've all kind of been forced to be together more as a family. And I guess that's kind of what Sound of Music is about, because it's the whole family getting closer together and finally becoming that family after they lost their mom. So I guess that really relates to now, because we all kind of have to like work together and like try to make the most of everything, and that's kind of what they're doing in Sound of Music. So yeah.
Well, I'd say it's kind of like the theme of trying new things, because the children like had never sang before. Like they weren't allowed to have music before Maria came. And like we're all stuck inside, and the children couldn't really go out very far without their father's permission. So they're kind of all just at home, and they're trying music for the first time. And I feel like a lot of people have picked up like new things to try because of the pandemic. And yeah, I just feel like it really relates to what's going on now.
The next question is, what is your favorite thing about playing Liesl?
I feel like it's just she's so easy to relate to because like in the show she's 16 years old and like I'm 16 years old. We all have boy problems. Like I just feel like it's very fitting to just play her. Like I don't have much trouble like trying to get into character, which is nice.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of the same thing. I feel I can really relate to Liesl. Like her character's not. I feel like she's like every like teenage girl goes through what Liesl's going through about boys. I mean, I think we all can relate. But yeah, I just feel like I could really relate to her character, and she's fun to play, and I love dancing, so that's fun too.
I honestly think that Liesl's just such a fun character to play. Like she's very just like, what's the word? Like carefree a little bit. But she's also transitioning to becoming like a young woman, because she's 16, like going on 17. And that's kind of like what I'm going through. Like I have to start like looking at colleges, and I'm looking at like what's ahead. So I relate to Liesl.
And then the final question is, how has this show been in general? Like, if you could summarize your entire experience from this entire show, what would it be like?
I feel like it's been a very like positive experience because, you know, we weren't even sure if we were gonna like do a show, but like we were able to find a show that we can rehearse while like social distancing, and we've always tried to like make the best out of the situation, and I think we're doing a really good job with it. So yeah, it's very positive.
Yeah, it's definitely been different this year, but it's been a lot of fun. Like in the beginning of the year, we were practicing in the parking lot. And honestly, I loved practicing in the parking lot. Like I actually enjoyed that. Like I'd rather be outside than inside, because like we got all the fresh air and there's like the sun. It was just fun. So I really had a good, like, even though it's different, I feel like we've made the most of what we have to work with. And the fact that we're even able to have a show this year is just great. So honestly, I'm having a good time this year.
Yeah, I'm definitely happy to have like a show this year, because I know a lot of other programs were like canceled due to the pandemic. So I'm honestly really fortunate to have a show. But it really has been a good experience. Like everybody's understanding because of what's going on, and we're trying our best, and it's going to be a great show. I just know it's a good experience.
Bye.